You wake up on a Tuesday morning. Nothing feels wrong at first. The alarm didn't go off, but that happens. You check your phone, no notifications. Weird, but okay. You get up, make your way to the kitchen, and turn on the TV. Static. Every channel static. You try your phone again. No signal. You call your mom. Nothing. Your best friend. Nothing. You look out the window expecting the usual noise, cars, people, dogs, barking, and you get silence. Complete, total, suffocating silence. You step outside. The street is empty. A car sits in the middle of the road, engine still running, door wide open, a coffee cup on the sidewalk still steaming, someone's groceries scattered across the pavement. But no one. No bodies. No blood, no sign of struggle, just gone. 8 billion people disappeared overnight, and somehow, impossibly, you're still here. Now what? The first few hours you spend in denial. You drive around screaming out the window, you go to the police station empty, the hospital empty, the supermarket, the school, the church. Empty, empty, empty. You try every phone, every radio frequency, every emergency broadcast system you can find, nothing. By nightfall, you're sitting alone in the middle of Times Square. Every screen around you still lit up, still cycling through ads for movies and perfume and fast food. And for the first time in your life, you understand what true silence actually sounds like. It's not peaceful, it's terrifying. Here's something psychologists know that most people don't. Human beings are not built for solitude, not real solitude. We can handle a weekend alone, maybe a week. But permanent, total, irreversible isolation? That's a different thing entirely. Studies on solitary confinement show that after just a few days, the human brain begins to deteriorate. Hallucinations, paranoia, emotional collapse. And those people at least know other humans exist somewhere. You don't have that comfort. Day 3 and you've already started talking to yourself. Not because you're losing it well, maybe a little, but because the silence is physically painful. You start leaving the TV on even when you're not watching. You need the noise, any noise. The sound of a voice, even a recorded one, even a fictional one, feels like a lifeline. You start making practical decisions because that's the only thing keeping you sane. Food first. The supermarkets are fully stocked. You've got maybe 2 to 3 years of canned goods across the city before things start going bad. Fresh food is already rotting in the produce section. You can smell it from the parking lot. Meat is already done, dairy gone, but canned beans, canned soup, you're fine for now. Water is trickier. The municipal water system runs on electricity and human maintenance. Give it a few weeks before the pumps start failing. You need to find a long-term water source, rivers, reservoirs, or figure out how to keep a generator running to maintain the system yourself. And generators need fuel. Fuel degrades. You've got maybe a year of usable gasoline before it starts breaking down. So the clock is already ticking. Month 2 and the city starts showing cracks. Not metaphorical ones, literal ones. Without human maintenance, infrastructure deteriorates faster than you'd expect. A pipe bursts 3 blocks away and floods a street. A traffic light shorts out and starts a small electrical fire. Rats freed from any predator or pest control are everywhere. Nature is already reclaiming everything. And here's where it gets psychologically interesting. Around week 6, most isolation studies suggest a person reaches what researchers call the acceptance threshold. The initial panic fades, the desperate searching stops, and a strange, unsettling calm sets in. Not peace exactly, more like your brain finally accepting the reality it refused to process. You are alone. This is real. This is your life now. And once you accept that, your brain does something remarkable. It starts adapting. You begin building routines because routines are how humans impose meaning on chaos. You wake up at the same time every day. You eat at regular intervals. You find a comfortable house, probably something nicer than you could ever afford before, and you make it yours. You start a journal, not because anyone will ever read it, but because writing things down makes them real, and right now you desperately need something to feel real. You learn things out of necessity. How to grow food, how to maintain a generator, how to treat a wound without a doctor, how to fix a leaking roof. Skills you never needed before, never thought about before, suddenly become survival essentials. 6 months in and something unexpected happens. You start to feel something that almost resembles contentment. The world is quiet, no traffic, no deadlines, no social anxiety, no news cycle. Just you, the planet, and an unlimited amount of time. You read every book you ever wanted to read. You sleep whenever you want. You drive whatever car catches your eye that day. You live in a different house every week just because you can. For a brief window, it almost feels like freedom. But then comes the second winter, and the loneliness hits differently the second time. The first year you were busy surviving, adapting, problem solving. The second year you've solved most of the immediate problems, and now there's just time. Endless, empty time. And nothing to fill it with except your own thoughts. You find yourself doing things that make no rational sense. Setting 2 plates for dinner. Talking to photographs. Leaving the light on in the hallway because coming home to a completely dark house feels unbearable. You start to forget small things. The exact sound of your mother's laugh. The specific way your city used to smell on a summer evening. The texture of a real conversation. The back and forth. The interruptions. The pauses that meant something. You realize you're not just lonely. You're becoming a different person. Because identity, psychologists argue, is largely social. We know who we are partly by how others see us and respond to us. Without that mirror, you start losing the edges of yourself. Who are you when no one is watching? Who are you when no one else exists? Year 3 and you make a decision. You're gonna travel, not just around the city or around the world. You teach yourself to fly a small plane from a manual you found at the airport. It takes 4 months and 3 very close calls. But eventually, you get it. You see Paris, empty, beautiful, already growing vines across the storefronts. You see the Great Wall of China being slowly swallowed by vegetation on either side. You see the Amazon thriving and expanding without anyone to stop it. You see the Sahara, unchanged, indifferent, as it always was. The world without humans is not dead. It's actually more alive than it's ever been in centuries. The air is cleaner. The oceans are quieter. Wildlife is returning to places it hadn't been seen in generations. The planet doesn't miss us, and that realization sits in your chest like a stone. Year 5. You've stopped counting days. You celebrate your birthday alone with a bottle of wine from a Parisian cellar and a cake you baked yourself. You've gotten good at baking. You've gotten good at a lot of things, but here's what no one tells you about surviving the apocalypse. The real battle was never about food or water or shelter. It was always about meaning. Humans can endure almost any physical hardship. What we cannot endure is purposelessness. The question that haunts every single day isn't, will I survive? It's why. Why keep going? Why learn new things? Why maintain a garden or fix a roof or write in a journal that no one will ever read? And the only answer you can ever come up with, the only one that actually feels true, is this. Because you're still here. And as long as you're here, something human still exists on this planet. Your memories, your thoughts, your grief, your weird habit of talking to yourself at breakfast, that's all that's left of 8 billion people. You're not just surviving for yourself. You're the last library, the last record, the last proof that any of this ever happened. And maybe that's enough. Or maybe it isn't. Maybe one morning you wake up and the silence finally wins. Either way, no one will ever know. And somehow, that's the most terrifying part of all. And that's your life now, friends. 8 billion people gone. Just like that. No explanation, no warning, no goodbye. So let me ask you something. If you woke up tomorrow and the world was empty, what would be your first move? Or would you just give up? Drop your answer in the comments. I genuinely want to know. And if you made it this far, thank you. Seriously, it means a lot. If you enjoyed this one, hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. Trust me, you don't want to. This has been your host, Don Chichi, signing off, and as always, running away.